Someone read for me that. Bernard. We are saying it's reproduction, pregnancy, and childbirth. So do you have any expectation of what we are going to look at now? What do you think we are going to discuss here? Yes, Gil.
We are going to discuss about how female gets pregnant and how she gets birth.
Gil is very clear about this, that we are just going to discuss how a female gets pregnant and how they give birth. I think that is some good answer. That's what he expects. Any other different expectation? This time around a girl. Yes? Are you expecting what Gil expects? So you are all expecting to see how someone gets pregnant and how they even carry that pregnancy for some good time up to when they give birth. So since it begins with how, I've always said that the process of how is a factor. And Gile says that, for me I expect to know how someone gets pregnant. So now we are going to answer how. There are very many hows there. How does someone get pregnant? Someone has an answer? Gile? Benoit? Sexual intercourse, wonderful. Sexual intercourse. So we are not going to run very far from this. For this small part, we are going to talk about sexual intercourse. Is anyone interested in understanding what sexual intercourse is? Should I see happy faces because you are going to learn about this? Yes? Sexual intercourse. Before we look at it and what it entails, what are your expectations about this sexual intercourse? I see people smiling. It's as if you have ever heard about it. Yes, Bruce? Have met. Yeah, he's clear that for him with sexual intercourse, he expects female and male reproductive parts. That's why you have called it parts. I don't know whether you can call them parts, but they could be also called organs. Meet. That when they meet, that is sexual intercourse. That is him. Someone else?
Sexual intercourse is when female and male they meet and they reproduce.
He says that they will meet. This is a male and a female meeting, and there is no use of a condom, so that is sexual intercourse. So, is that true? Do you have any objection? Anyone who says no? So it means, for me, if I put on my condom and have a sexual intercourse, that is not sexual intercourse. That is his idea. Any reflection about this? Yes, Herbert.
When the male and female do sex,
male and female do unprotected sex. That is sexual intercourse. They can? They can get pregnant. We are looking at what sexual intercourse is. We are now, before we look at the real reproduction, we are looking at sexual intercourse only. And so I don't know whether, yes, Queen. They interact to produce young ones. So my question still stands before we proceed. Is it, if we interact without an intention of producing young ones, isn't it a sexual intercourse? Can it be called sexual intercourse if a male is putting on a condom, for instance? Because we all know that when a male is putting on a condom, they can't produce. It will stop the females from, getting pregnant. So if they put on a condom and they do that act of sex, will it be called a sexual intercourse or not? The answer is yes or no. Let me see those who say for us, as long as they meet, whether they have condom or not, it is sexual intercourse. Show of arms. Hey. Others are first looking aside to see who has put up. Those who say it's not, Hey. And those who don't know what we are talking about, the likes of Doroman, your team, you don't know anything about this. So that is it, that sexual intercourse does not necessarily mean we have to produce. The act of having a male reproductive organ, yeah, we are looking at humans, of course, but we also know that all mammals have this male reproductive organ. And we said the male reproductive organ is what? The male reproductive organ is what? The male reproductive organ. There is someone who has a different answer. What is the male reproductive organ? It's a sperm. Is it a male reproductive organ? Is a sperm an organ? What is it? It is a cell, so that is not an organ. He says it is a penis. Now, at this point, we are going to see how is this done. This is the act of intercourse. Then the female is what? It is it? Why are you saying it as if you don't want to say it? It's a vagina. So that means that that process of sexual intercourse involves this organ is what they call an intromittent what? Intro? Or? Meaning it is strong. And therefore it has, the word intromittent means it can easily penetrate. Yes? Yes? Someone has a question?
Why the female and the male kiss each other?
A very good question. When a female kisses a male, they kiss each other. Is that sexual intercourse? So what is it? It is, this one says it is put in the mood that it is not sexual intercourse. Is that true? Probably that's true. Sexual intercourse will only be concluded to be so if a penis has been inserted into the vagina. So that is to say that if we have this intromittent organ, it has to enter, but there should be a process. If this is to enter here, what process will be involved? What process? Do they meet and then all of a sudden they are walking and then they are pregnant or they are doing a sexual intercourse? Yes, sorry. There must be physical attraction. Very good. That everything begins with physical attraction, probably. So Rene says, for someone to get into contact with the other, they must attract to one another. Physical attraction. That is a good answer. Physical attraction. Then from physical attraction, what comes next? Physical attraction has taken place. Does it mean that every other time we have physical attractions, then it is a must that sexual intercourse has taken place? That probably when this physical attraction takes place, there can be some erection. For him, he has said, there is erection. This is a point also. So most of the time, erection goes with what? With males. So do females do erection? What do they do? Because erection is also a process which is leading us to the sexual intercourse. What about females? Will they also do erect? Because the word erection deals with means standing or strengthening. Females don't have anything that will stand, to erect. So they will be put in what? In mood also. If males erect, females will what? Will be in mood. Which mood? If this has happened, they must also maybe get contact. Other things can be. All these ones will end up making both a male and a female being in a mood of having sexual. And that is what we call, who can read for me the word? That is what we call arousal. That's how she pronounces it. Probably that's how we'll also do it. And you call it this one sexual arousal. So arousal takes place, then it means that now the body has prepared for sexual intercourse to take place. This will be accompanied by very many things. For female genital organs, probably they become wet. Mucus is produced. That is for female genital organs. Females, release of what? Release of mucus. For males, erection has already occurred. But probably they have not ejaculated or done anything. So sexual intercourse will begin immediately when now both the male and the female have agreed. When all this arousal is nothing else other than emotional changes. These emotional changes, which now force the two sexes get attracted closer to one another and they feel they have to do it, is what will lead into sexual intercourse. And sexual intercourse will commence by doing what? By the insertion now. After all those processes, we shall have insertion of the penis into the vagina. So the moment the penis has been inserted into the vagina, that is already sexual intercourse. Even if it has been inserted once and they remove it, that was already sexual intercourse. And when this has happened, if there is no protection, it is what brings us to what? If there is protection, then you cannot see pregnancy. So that is sexual intercourse, which will involve a male inserting a penis into the vagina of a female. This one does not only take place in humans, it also takes place in other organisms. You rear goats home, right? Maybe some of us have reared goats home. Others rear other things home. Mammals, different mammals, cows, even rabbits, all those are mammals. And they have the males and the females. And between them, there must be sexual intercourse. Without sexual intercourse, you cannot have reproduction. And without pregnancy, you cannot have reproduction. So sexual intercourse is the beginning of pregnancy and what? And reproduction. And in the same way, when we reproduce, that is what we shall call childbirth. A few questions. Yes, let me begin with. Very good. Sexual intercourse. That is a very good question. Who can answer such a question? Do birds have you ever seen a hen having a penis? The problem some of us have never slaughtered it. But if you have ever slaughtered, you realize that in birds there is no this organ, but there is a male and a female. Anything that involves the exchange, in other words, he has reminded us that there will be exchange of sexual fluids. And there will be exchange of sperms, whereby sperms will be released into the vagina. Birds have sperms, though they don't have a penis. They have what we call a cloaca. This cloaca is also put on the cloaca of a female, and the bird will release the sperms. So if these sperms are inserted into the vagina, obviously there will be pregnancy.
Can we call this sexual intercourse when allowed with
Can we call this sexual intercourse if a female used any other part apart from a penis from a male? It will be a way of satisfying themselves, but will not be sexual intercourse, simply because we need two organisms in a position, not one. Thank you for your time.